I know I'm gone, but I'll be back for long. And I'll come back for you. Yes, I'll come back for you. I know I'm gone, but I'll be back for long. And I'll come back to you. Yes, I'll come back to you.
Well, welcome back to Eating Elephants. And today we have got Andre Dirrell, Hall of Fame boxer. What's up, brother? How's it going?
Good, brother. How about yourself?
Man, I can't complain. Thank you for coming on the platform. Thank you so much. Now, if you guys don't know, Andre is one of the premier boxers of our time. If you haven't seen, he's been pretty active on social media lately, just telling us about how he feels about this new wave of boxing. But for you, it started way earlier than this. Where did it start for you, Andre?
9 years old. My grandfather was taking us to the gym. And at that time, it was nothing too heavy. He just let us come in the gym along with my big brother, uncle, and cousin. As they worked, he kind of let us play around. We hit the mitts a little bit, jumped on the bag, kicked the bag around, did what we wanted to do. He finally locked in with us when I almost hit 10, right? And that's when the real work began. My grandfather, that is, Leon Lawson, man, he rest in peace. Man, he had a passion like none other for this game. He grew up knowing Muhammad Ali, 15, 16 years old, my grandfather being the eldest. And he seen how Ali's career turned out, and he knew what he wanted for us. So instead of rolling those Flint streets, he kept us in the gym, man. We was pretty much in there our whole life.
Like coming up in that environment, coming up in Flint, Michigan, and boxing keeping you out of the streets.
Right.
I guess the same goes for your brother as well, right?
Yeah, he had the street mentality. He was, and that's why he got the moniker the dog, right? He had that hustling mentality, street mentality, dog mentality. He was a fighter from out the gate, and I guess that's because he was the youngest, right? And growing up, I followed my big brother, and he followed us, right? And so he always had to prove himself in one way or another, and that's why he has the mentality that he does. We're like night and day, honestly, man. But yeah, he's the dog for a reason.
And I thought about that because for a while, I think a lot of people don't put the coalition together of I think Black excellence is huge. And when relatives are able to share that success, not through nepotism, but through hard work, right? He had to grind like you did. And I think one big thing with boxing in the streets, you got guys like Gervonta Tank Davis who really kind of try to toe that line, or I don't know if you call Adrian Broner's, last press conference and some of the comments that he made. And I think for a lot of guys who really grew up in the streets, it's cringeworthy because we know what happens already, what really happens.
Absolutely. I know my grandfather was steering us away from, man. And listen, we was out there with AB, and then when they was little kids, man, we was all little, we young. I saw AB walk out 8 years old in the fight in Cincinnati. And I mean, it was at that moment I knew he was a showman. So when he showed up on the scene in the professionals, I already knew we was in for a whirlwind of entertainment, man, because this is who he is. He's not playing a role. This is who AB is, right? And then when you talk about Tank, man, yeah, he is that. It was like boxing or the streets. He got that mentality, got that dog in him. The whole nine, man. So toting the line is a good way to express that. And thank God boxing, found its way. But even for someone like me who steered clear, I could have easily fell into that trap because I was easily influenced by the streets, but I just didn't have that mentality. If I wouldn't have found boxing, who knows where would have been doing.
Yeah, because I think that, and that's huge. I think for especially an aggressive sport, but as we also know, it's the sweet science.
Yep.
And not being a poised person, not being a person who can keep yourself under control can definitely be dangerous. So as we zoom on, so I'd imagine, at the young age, you did the silver mittens or the silver gloves and the golden gloves.
Yep. I didn't win. I didn't win many juniors, man. I won the junior golden gloves twice. I won a national pal as well. But tournaments I wanted to win. The Silver Gloves. It was taken from me. The JO's most important tournament. I only made it to the Nationals once, man. I know it's only a 2-trip tournament, but I mean, I was non-existent. You know what I'm saying? Because they robbed me. You know, I feel. But yeah. So I was really discouraged early in my career, man. But I just kept going.
So, besides those family members, who was the first person that you met that really gave you that push when you were going through those things? You said, man,
right.
I'm not having the career that I want to have so far as a junior or getting to those points. Who was that person that you met that said, man,
I've seen them all, bro. The Midwest had them all, man. Rock and Tiger Allen. I'm not sure you know who they are. The whole concrete jungle, the Philly boys, they was out there. Ohio had some big names, Ricardo Williams, you know what I'm saying? Like Chris Bird. That was a guy right from Flint. We stayed in his gym a lot, the Birds. And then people I just came up with watching, man, like the same people you see or you seen in my era, man. I got a chance to see them also as I continue to grow. But how I decided to build my style was take a little bit off the fighters that I like. I watched Ali throughout my whole entire career. But outside of Ali, Ricardo Williams was the biggest influence for us. The Cincinnati boy, man. We had all of his tapes, and I literally watched so many of them, man. Like he was mesmerizing to me as an amateur, being a young kid. And we got a chance to travel to Cincinnati often, man. That was like our second home, man. Seeing them, being around them was surreal. Watching them fight in tournaments was surreal. He would wear a silver outfit, man. It was one of the shiny silver outfits. Like, cats would have them on today, but it wouldn't seem like they would have them on at the time that he fought, man. He was that guy, and then went on to get a silver medal. Didn't do as good as he wanted to in the pros, but he made an impact enough for me to get to where I am today, along with others.
I noticed that the more I get into the culture and I talk to people who are actually successful boxers, it's never the boxers that you think motivated them, right? You always get the Alis and you get the Durans and the Roy Joneses and these people, but there's always some of those obscure names that you always hear. And it's funny you mentioned, and I'm going to have to look him up because you mentioned that he was big in the fashion of boxing. And people changing the way they look, especially with all the young guys. I don't know if you saw Gervonta Tank Davis recently in his fight against Frank Martin with the custom chrome heart outfit.
Yeah, I saw that. Absolutely. I heard he paid a grip for it too, man. Crazy.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, I couldn't believe I heard he said he paid like $100,000. I'm like, man, they do that? Like, they don't charge that much. I think I paid like $2,500, $3,000 tops for one of my most expensive outfits. Man, he went far and beyond, man. That's crazy.
Far and beyond, man. I'm not really a fashionable guy like that.
Yeah, me neither.
So I'm not really, I don't think I even have an event to wear a $2,500 pair of pants or jacket to go to. Hopefully I'll make it to the SP and I'll be looking like something. But I seen that with Gervonta, because I think we both can agree he's the face of boxing now for this age.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure, it's really huge. So, and not to get off of that, but I also want to talk about like even with Tank. So, are you one of these people who think, or not think, but feel that Tank hasn't fought the type of opposition that would make him be the top dog? Have we not seen him fight the type of people, in your opinion, that would make him be the face of boxing from a competition standpoint?
I gotta see the skill first, right? And he's been there with enough opposition for me to know that he can get the job done with, guys of his caliber. I'm not going to say someone who's better than him because, in his weight class, I don't believe anyone is, right? And styles do make fights in a way. And I think the only thing that holds Tank back, or the only downfall that could possibly hit Tank, is his height, right? You fight somebody with enough height and know how to stay away, then it's going to be a problem. There's a lot of fights where he knocked guys out where he had to knock them out, otherwise he was losing the fight, right? But I think Tank is special. You know what I'm saying? Watching that last fight with him and Frank Martin. Now, Frank Martin wasn't a big name, and that was just like come out fight right there, really gonna put him on. He did a great job leading up to getting stopped. But what Tank showed me was his patience and perseverance, right? He kept getting caught with left hands, and he had the cheek to prove it. You know, he had the red mark on his cheek to prove it, but he never changed his posture. He kept that same facial expression. He showed patience. He showed patience, persistence, and he continued to execute until he found his shot. He was never over antsy. He took his time, man, and that's what makes him so dangerous. I think he has that ebbing pressure to where he'll break you down nervously because he's not going to show you weakness. He's going to always keep that game face on, and he's going to be patient enough to wait and land that shot if he sees it, man. You know, so I think Tank already proved himself. Just like Terrence Crawford didn't have to prove himself before he fought Spence, you know, Tank is one of those guys as well.
Yeah, 100%. I definitely think Tank, and even though some of because they look at belts, right? And I think we're in the belt era where there's more belts, more weight classes, and all these things being added. And for somebody like Tank, I really think Tank has fought harder opposition than about everybody in those two weight classes, 140 and 135. I don't think anybody else has had, besides Mario Barrios himself, who's went up, who's had that strength of schedule. So let me ask you this. Out of all the new boxers today, who is the guy that you would compare yourself to the most? Is there any boxers that you see a little? I know you say you were the chameleon, but is there anybody that you say, man, I look at this dude and I say, he's on the same wavelength I was as a pro?
That's a good question. And I was different. You know, like I just had this natural ability. I was fast, elusive. You know, I knew how to stay out the way. I knew how to counter, and my style was appreciated, right? And I can see a lot of styles today, which I appreciate and like myself, you know, along with the natural ability, right? But I never, crazy as this sounds, studied my style, right? I just executed when I had to. And I ain't watch a lot of my fights. Now I don't to this day.
That's what I was going to ask you. So do you watch footage? Did you watch your opponent's footage?
Yep, I did. I never liked to, but I did. I did because I had to, right? But it was nothing I enjoyed doing because if I see a guy and I just know I'm better than him, I don't even want to see his footage. And then sometimes when it's close to the fight, it's just like, this is not the guy I'm going to fight. He fought this guy, and this guy is nothing like me, so he might fight different when he steps in the ring with me, so I'll know what to do when I step in there with him, right? That's how I really carried myself. I wasn't all the way strategic, but I just knew I had the ability to be able to execute, you know? And I could never sit around and watch a whole fight, man. When it came to studying my opponents, I would watch important rounds. Like I would watch the 4th, 5th, and 6th, you know what I'm saying? Or the 5th on, the 4th on, because that's when the fight actually starts, right? And then leading up to a knockout, even when you go and look at highlights and see a knockout, it's like, okay, he knocked him out. That was a good shot. But what's the context behind it? How he set that up? How did he line that up? What was he doing before then? You got to pay attention to stuff like that. So I would watch rounds based on that. I wouldn't watch a whole fight through. I would kind of watch a fight and just, you know, create a couple of scenarios and then see how they execute it, and I get in the ring and, you know, try and do my thing.
And, you know, I think that's I think that's huge because people like Gervonta, that's the biggest advantage I feel like he has. I always say he's got the right people watching the footage to make the game plan. It's like another person who I really am a big fan of in boxing is Ben Davison, who he's working with everybody right now, but you never see him really in the corner of anybody because his specialty is dissecting that footage and being able to, you know, see those things. You ever seen boxing gyms on YouTube? You ever seen boxing gyms on YouTube?
Nah, boxing GEMS gyms. Yeah. No, I never seen it.
In my opinion, it's the best boxing channel on YouTube.
I can't wait to check it out.
He doesn't do interviews. he breaks down footage.
Okay.
And like he's been somebody who's like Devin Haney. He's been super hypercritical of Devin Haney and the rhythm stepping and the crossing of his feet and some of the things that I think people who really know about boxing know that Devin Haney has these problems, but he's a great athlete.
Yeah.
He's super athletic.
Absolutely.
And that really helped him wrap up some of those issues. But Boxing Gems is a person who taught me, in reality, me personally, I now can identify what I'm looking at. I now can look at footage and be like, this is why these things are happening. So that's huge. So you look like you're still in shape, though, Dre, man. You don't look like you.
I am.
What you weighing nowadays?
204.
204. And what'd you fight at?
Happily, 175. My last 5 fights was at 175.
And that's good, man. We still could see you soon lace them up and give it about 4 months. Yeah. We can still get in there and make it happen.
Absolutely. I wanted to make a little comeback. I had a little moment there where I called out, what's his name? Anthony Yardy.
Yeah.
Right? And, but when I woke up, I thought about the next morning. I actually put it out there. Boxing College kind of picked it up. People was talking about it, sharing it. He's seen it a lot. That day I went heavy on it because I was really had just that urge to come back. And when I woke up the next morning, I was like, man, it'd be stupid for him to take a fight with me. I'm still good. And then you still, and I'm not in the rankings. So it's just like to get in there with me, it'd be like, for what? You know what I'm saying? You'll be taking a big risk, man. So I thought about it like that. He didn't respond to anything. I know he's seen it all. And so I'm just like, you know what? Yeah, it was a ceremony thing. I can let it go just as easily.
Yeah, I saw that. I think it's hard. I don't know if you've been watching, but it looks like Manny Pacquiao's going to come back and fight Barrios.
Yeah, I know. I hear, man. I don't know what he has to prove. He's an icon, right? So it's just like, I don't want to think it's money, right? It could be, but his name is going to carry weight and going to keep money in his pocket throughout the rest of his life. You know what I'm saying? As long as he does the right things from this point on, right? Whether he coaches somebody, whether he, his own boxing columns or start his own boxing channel pod, whatever he wants to do in the boxing realm, he can do. Outside of that, I know he's political as well. So, he can take wherever he wants to. If he in the Philippines, man, he probably can run for president, man. I'm sure somebody gonna vote. They're gonna vote for him.
He is a politician there, man.
Yeah.
And he's got like a gold album in the Philippines. He's also like a.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, I ain't know about the gold album though, but
I might be embellishing hot, but he sings. He's out here.
I know. I've seen it all, man. Manny does it all, man. For real, he's a jolly dude, man. Perhaps he's coming back for the love of the game, man. You never know. Maybe he does think he still has it, man. And he know he's not what he once was, but when he sees somebody like Barrios, he just feels like it's there. And, he'd have to step in there to show that perhaps he is, you know what I'm saying? But that'll be okay. I believe once he figures that part out, then he can really move on. Because it's like, if you can get in there and make good money and still be notoriety, get the notoriety, then, why not? You know what I'm saying? Enjoy while you can, while you're still young, man. Because 100%. Pretty soon we will not be able to do this at all, even if we wanted to.
Because I really feel like a lot of the OG boxers look at the younger boxers like they food right now.
Yeah.
Like if you watch Boots and David Everson this weekend.
Yep, absolutely.
1 out of 10, what we give Boots' performance?
I'm gonna give Boots' performance a 7, 6. No, 6. Yeah, 6. 6. Yeah.
I think for a lot of us, we know that it's good that Boots didn't get Barrios.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for real. Like, it don't matter. Like what I seen, like he can chalk it up to a bad night, right? I'm not sure what his thoughts are on this fight because I ain't seen anything yet. But if he called that a good night, then when he fights, if he gets an opportunity with Crawford, he's not going to walk away with that pick. I hate to say it because he's highly skilled, but it's things we all need to work on, man. It's not like he can't get better. He has ample time to do that. He just needs to stay in the gym, lock in. If I was him, I would watch that fight over and over and correct my wrongs, and then make up for it when y'all see me again.
Yeah, I think one thing that separates a lot of boxers is athleticism versus understanding the science.
Mm-hmm.
It's like guys like Tyson Fury, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's not your pillar of athleticism.
Right.
David Benavidez.
Yeah.
Got, in my opinion, some weird feet movements a lot of times.
Yeah.
But it's a pillar of athleticism.
Yep. It's there.
Period.
Yep. I like that. I love it, actually.
You know, that's just some of my theories, but
yeah.
I just know, like Devin Haney. Devin Haney's IQ is not very high. Didn't, in my opinion, didn't.
It's not though. But it's not.
But he's mad athletic. And come back quick to his face. Yep. We know, and I'm sure you know, the single jab is a no. It's what you're gonna get counted off of 9 times out of 10. And for me, and I know for you too, having an opinion that can be supported by fact sometimes isn't really welcomed in this industry, because it exposes that a lot of boxers and nowadays I think are lesser skilled than your day and days before those. And I feel like that's why you feel like you be ready to come back. And that's why Pacquiao feels like I can come back. Yeah. I don't think they look at you're not looking at these guys like, yeah, they're young killers. I don't want to get in there.
Well, you got guys who can box, and then you got guys who think they can box, right? Devin is a guy who can box, but he can't box as good as he thinks he can, right? Like his jab in that last fight, just like you said, it was always a single jab. It was a strong jab. It's just like, man, why are you pumping out jabs? Like, why can't you, feint? Like he could have set up shots. He was too tense in there for me. He didn't show signs of being relaxed or calm. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't like the way he performed at all, man. And a lot of people chalk that up as hating. They had a lot to say, right? And all he has to do is go back to the drawing board, because he has the athleticism to do so. It's just like, right your wrongs in the gym. Don't worry about what we got to say. And every nigga ain't hating on another nigga because he a nigga. It's just like, it is what it is, bro. You need to work on these things. The way I did shit, you can understand that. Now, I might have a little humor attached to it, but I mean well when I speak, man. You will get the information you need if you take it the right way from me, man, because that's the only way I see it. I've been hard on myself the whole life, so can't nobody be harder on me than me. So when these cats hear it, man, they need to take it for what it is and just get in the gym, get in the lab, and then execute on that.
Yep, that's the hard part for me being media, man, because I feel like as media, sometimes you're thinking like, I can't really say what I want to say about some of my favorite boxers because they'll never deal with my platform.
I know, right? That's such a. But my thing is this too. If that's the case, because it ain't gonna be the case for every one of your fighters. You gotta just chalk that up for what it is, man. Because the most important thing is they need to hear what's most important for them. You know what I'm saying? Now if you don't have a background, it's just like, a lot of the times cats can shut up, even if you mean well, right? But you don't got to look forward to having these big names on your platform. It's like the ones around them are the ones you want to attach yourself to that can help them realize that. So you might spark something in the coach's ear, in a friend's ear, in the acquaintance's ear, or in a fellow boxer's ear that'll relay back to that fighter somehow. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to shy away from what needs to be said to protect someone's feelings, bro. Like, man, we got a lifetime of that coming, regardless if I don't speak on it or not, man. It's a lifetime of that coming our way, man. You got to let that grow you, bro.
100%. I agree. And I think really we talk about boxing. One of the biggest reasons why I think not only some boxers have become more sensitive and some of them are less skilled is because there's no amateur pedigree for a lot of these guys anymore.
But it's too many words. It's too many people stating opinion. Whether we know it or not, they're looking at a lot of those comments, right? Like literally 95 to 98% of those comments are from just average Joes, everyday people, whether it's good or bad. And then you would get the oh man, a comment from Floyd Mayweather, Roy Jones, you know what I'm saying? Dang, Tyson spoke on my name, you know what I'm saying? Just like, you can look forward to stuff like that, but you start to seeing enough of those bad comments, man. It's like the next dude that say something, I don't care who he is, I'm going in. So yeah, they got a reason to be offended, man. Too many people got a voice today.
Yep, I think it's just like I said. It is. I think about that with Devin Haney, man. I really go light on Devin Haney because I'm a big fan of Bill Haney.
Yeah.
And I love Bill. Anybody who I don't know, anybody father situation.
Yeah.
But if you don't have a father swinging the bat for you, sometimes it's good to see Bill Haney. Like,
he gonna make it entertaining. He definitely gonna
catch that nigga again.
He definitely gonna box for his son. I think the only thing about Haney is his father, Bill, is he gives his son credit to a fault. It's just like, it's almost like he's lifting his son up so much to where he's not allowing him to see where he messed up. And the most important thing you can do, for a person that you love, a fellow fighter, you want to see be great, whether you love him or not, is improve. Like, if you're not a Hall of Famer / undisputed, he's been undisputed, right? If you haven't beaten the top names, if you still have growing to do, I'm not going to talk like you already at the pinnacle. I'm going to talk to you like you're on your way, right? And that's what Bill doesn't do. Bill ups his son to a fault. You know what I'm saying? I don't blame him for it because that's his son. You got to show love for his son. I don't want him to get it twisted on that note. I just want him to understand that it's just like, okay, son, it's time for a little constructive criticism. You could have did this a little better, that a little better. You still execute like I need you to do. Mentality is there, but this is what we need to do when we get in the gym next time. I never hear Bill say that.
I think one big thing for Bill, and I think for a lot of us, is that we got to do it in one generation.
Yeah.
I put Bill up there, man. And Bill, if you watch this, man, I'm saying this with all respect. And I don't, with the abuse aside, I put Bill up there with like Joe Jackson. Like, if you don't got Joe Jackson pushing, you don't never have Devin Haney.
Absolutely.
You don't never have it.
Floyd Mayweather either.
That's the kind of fathers I admire. If you got kids, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I got 5, man.
So then, as fathers, and especially as black fathers, we know it's not easy, man.
Yep.
And for people like, I don't even want to say Ike Turner because I think that's going a little too far.
Yeah, that's going too far.
They're going too far. But even like your Joe Jackson.
Joe Jackson, for sure.
Your Serena and Venus's father.
Oh, man, I love that King Richard.
Some of these guys.
My grandfather.
Yeah, like your grandfather.
Yep.
Some of these guys who understand that, like, I need Anthony and Andre to be serious about this because we can make big strides in one lifetime.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That will help our family forever. And I think that's what Bill, he studied that Mayweather blueprint and he probably talked to Floyd and Floyd was like, go to Mexico. And Bill was like,
Exactly.
And, I respect the shit out of Bill for that. But I just, like I said, I know Devin is hella athletic. If he was taller, he'd probably be a good basketball player or football player or any of them type of things. But
the way his daddy pushed him, you never know, man. Because like if it was up to me, I wouldn't be here talking to you right now because you wouldn't know who I was. I would have quit, right before I won the national power, which is my road to the Olympics, the first tournament I won. Right. We're kids, man. We're living day by day, meaning for the moment, right? It's up to the fathers, right? They had the end goal in mind from the start. That's why we started. So I seen Devin Haney in the gym at Floyd Mayweather gym when he was 9, 10 years old. I seen that boy walking around in the gym with his daddy, and his daddy talking just like he talked today. He gonna be the man, and the boy been doing his thing, man, because they see the end goal. Regardless of what we got to go through. If we lose a fight, I'm the whole trip home. I'm crying, and I just want to quit. I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we in the gym, we have a bad day. It's like, man, I'm tired of boxing. You know what I'm saying? We get in there and spar cat and get touched a little bit. It's like, man, I don't think I want to do this no more. Because we living for the day, man. It's like, if I don't execute today, then I'll never be able to do it. I see things for what it is, right? our fathers, man, or our loved ones, or the coaches that really care about our well-being and seeing us succeed, whether they're family or not, you know what I'm saying? I guarantee, man, there's probably 60% of those coaches in this game, and why we know most of the people, Roy didn't like his father. His father still got him to where he is today. Floyd Mayweather couldn't stand his father. His father still got him where he is today. Michael Jackson and Tito and Jermaine and all them didn't like Joe, but he got him to where he is today. I guarantee you it was days where Devin couldn't stand his father, but his father got him where he is today with money. It's like you was balling, you know what I'm saying? Like early. So it's like his daddy had that end goal in mind, and he got Devin there, you know, regardless of Devin's feelings, regardless of my feelings, regardless of Floyd Mayweather, Roy Jones' feelings, man. It's like they know what needs to be done. Soon enough, we'll realize it when the time comes. But for now, I got to do my part and keep your ass in the gym.
Yeah, facts. No, that's huge. And, you know, that was the thing that we was talking about, like, even, like, with, like, heartbreaking losses, like, even with bro, with Anthony, you know, I don't really look at him and David Videz. I don't look at it as a heartbreaking loss. That cut was crazy. Yeah. And he was really kind of having a good fight until the cut opened up.
Yeah.
But I really felt like with Caleb Plant, it was a heartbreaker for me personally. For being a fan and somebody who followed him the whole career. And, you know, with Caleb Plant, you know, being the guy Caleb Plant is, right? With the history that he has. Is that something like you had to deal with bro? Like, hey, I've been down this road already. All of our friends have. It's like, how's he been doing? I don't really see him, you know, do a lot of social media talking.
Right. He talking about it now. He thinking about opening up his own gym, man. You know, but he do a lot of golfing. Anthony just laid back, man. You know, all that fight, man, he ready to keep it easy, man. So he do a lot of golfing. You know, he has some investment properties as well. And he's thinking about opening a gym in close to Flint, Michigan, you know, so actually downtown Flint, you know, so yeah, man. I was just talking about that with my little sister, man. I'm like, you know, we gotta figure out what Anthony gonna be doing, man, because I know he wanna be on the on social media, but he ain't really tripping too much. But he good though for the most part though. Anthony living his life, enjoying retirement.
Tell him I said what's up, man. He's always hilarious, man. He always. That's why when I ain't seen much of him, I'm like, all right, come on, brother, come on out the wheelbarrow.
I know, right? It's like, what you want to do? You want to talk about boxing? You want to do it a little bit longer? What's up, man? What's the play, man? Let's talk.
I need that minimum at least see you in the crowd when they just hand to you. Like.
Yeah. He ready to go to those fights. When I went to that Tank fight, man, he was supposed to come with me, but I don't know if he got rained out or something. Something had happened. Yup. He got rained out or something like that. So he couldn't make it out there, man. You know, but he said, what's the next fight we going to? So we're going to start getting a lot of fights together.
Huge, man. So another thing, we talk about Michigan, right? And the huge boxing history that you guys have added on to. So let's switch gears.
Yeah.
Because Detroit, Michigan is coming out with that rap music right now, right?
Yeah, ain't they?
I really feel like they kind of got the groove in Michigan and the Detroit and the Flint area.
And boxing is always there.
You said what?
And boxing is always there. It's always going to be a part of Detroit.
Oh, man. 100%, bro. Especially dealing with, isn't that where Kronk started?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, some of the top, but I mean with the music scene. Yeah. So I know the music is really, because you see, I personally see a lot of boxers nowadays walking out with the rappers, and I see on Top Rank they even have the headphones, which lets me know they're sound checking them. Because back in the day with Floyd, it was trash. You had a rapper going, which you like, we kind of know the song. Yeah. So what's some artists that you're listening to from there? Are you kind of hip in that Michigan, Detroit, Midwest rap scene?
I listen to a lot of jazz and old school rap, bro. Like I don't listen to nothing new, especially when it comes to rap. I rarely listen to rap, but when I do, I'm bumping Jeezy, you know, Tupac, T.I. Like I listen, and I'm listening literally to their records from like 2005, 2010, 13. Like I don't listen to today's rap, bro, like at all. I don't do it at all. And I only listen to rap when I work out. Other than that, I'm not listening to rap. I listen to a lot of jazz, bro. Marion Meadows, Brian Culberson. You know what I'm saying? I like smooth
What you know
jazz,
about some
bro.
Brian Culberson,
Come
man?
on,
You
man. I
know
know
about
Brian Simpson, I'm telling you, I play it all day, man. I do it all night, all day, bro.
that's what's up, old Boney James and all that.
Boney James, absolutely, man. That's my guy. I swear, man. I love it all, bro. I listen to a lot of my Pandora is jacked.
Now I already know what way I'm gonna send you some stuff because that
Yeah,
type of jazz, I already know what
yeah,
you listening to with the
yeah,
Brian
yeah,
Culberson. It's almost
yeah,
like R&B, but it's
yeah,
a
yeah, man. It's man, so suave. I say suave, bro.
yeah. Well, that's
I
why
love
that's
it.
the smooth man. You
Yeah,
know what
man.
I
It's
mean?
smooth as heck, bro. I love it, bro.
Straight
Chill.
up, that's what's up. And I know because I know music. Those things they really help to fuel us. And
Mhm.
I know I'd imagine you don't listen to rap music because of the negative undertone, right? Or
Absolutely
all
not. I listen to it for the tempo, and for the and for my occupation. Just like training is hard as hell. You know what I'm saying? So like I can move to that. Like I can be motivated by it. Now when you listening to something that's like really motivation, look at all these real niggas and they came to see me. Like that'd be Jeezy. Rick Ross got a lot of joints I love too, man. But if you saying something, that's when I'm really listening. I don't like listening to stuff that don't move me, man. Like, cause a lot of rap, especially in my era, express the hardships of the street, of the streets, man. And that's real, no matter how it comes out. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't like today's rap. I ain't knocking all of it, man. But that's what really motivated me because I know like we all started there. You know what I'm saying? In one way or another, man. So I listen to that for that reason too. And I get the chills a lot of times listening to rap. You know?
and 100%. I know shooting. I know growing up in the Midwest, a lot of
Mhm.
people don't understand the struggle of the Midwest is different than the East Coast and
Yeah,
the West Coast. We get it
yeah,
different. So
yeah.
speaking of national, so I know you've been watching the news and seen they took an attempt on Donald Trump's life
Right,
this week.
right. Crazy.
Crazy man out here. You got any comments for the election coming up this year? Or any stories about any politicians? I know Donald Trump's big at the UFC. Is there
Yeah.
any politician or high level people like that you've seen at the fights? Like, man, this guy's here at the fight today.
I mean, I seen Arnold. No, I ain't seen Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, nah, man, I seen Denzel Washington fight. That's it. Like, I ain't really seen no politicians, bro.
So,
You know?
so you don't ever see like, does that ever distract you when you're fighting on
Yeah.
that card and you're either the main event or the co-main
I think
and
it's dope. I think it's dope. That's
do
it.
you
I
see
love
those
seeing.
people? Do you see like Denzel looking, or are you
I
just kind
know,
of
right? Yeah, Denzel was at one of my fights too, man. I can't recall, but yeah, man, when you fighting, bro, you focus on the fight. I ain't thinking about who's in the crowd. Like beforehand, you see me like, oh man, look here, that's dope. But when you get in that ring, bro, it's like, man, you probably want to get a glance of them on the outside, before the fight start.
yeah
But then once that bell rings, it's over, man. You ain't thinking about nothing but the fight.
already? Well, that's huge. Well, this has been a great episode of Eating Elephants. And
Mm-hmm.
Dre, man, I appreciate you coming by, man. Of course, we'll do this again when we get the boxing matches under. But, before I get off there, you have any closing notes, anything for the fans to look forward to from the Dirrell brothers or yourself the next year or so?
Right. Man, we got some big things in the works. I do, for sure. I'm out here in Georgia. And, I'm working with clientele as well. I do personal training, enjoy it to the fullest, man. Had a wonderful time out in Miami. But, all I can say is I got some big things in the works, man. I'm on my social media all day. You know what I'm saying? So the podcast is on the way, continue training and tips on my YouTube channel, man. That's it, man. Andre Dirrell is all I can say, man. Look me up on YouTube. We're going to keep it moving.
Already. And this has been Copeland for Eating Elephants saying peace.
Say I know the storm come, Ma, I know the storm come. I said I know the storm. Hey, Hey, I know the storm coming cause the bullet wound starting to ache. Told my mama keep her dry on all them rainy days. When my niggas died, had to slide, but it still ain't take the pain away. All them tears that I cried when they died, but it still ain't take the pain away.
What? Talking about, why you call it eating elephants?
I call it eating elephants because how you take on a big task, you got to take it one bite at a time. That's how you eat an elephant.
Say I know the storm come, I know the storm come.